So good evening, hello and assalamu alaikum to all of you. This is Shahrukh Yusuf, your tutor, facilitator and helper for F8 Audit and Assurance. I officially welcome you all for the Vertex webinars for December 2025 ACC exam sitting. Okay, so in this session, this is basically an orientation session. So we'll get to know each other and you'll get to know the subject. You'll get to know the course, basically a course overview, um, the exam structure, the important topics that have been examined in the last 3 attempts. We'll have a look at the examiner report for June 25. And lastly, what we're going to do is we'll have a look at the ACCA's practice platform. And yeah, so that's how it will go. So let me share my screen with all of you, and I'll request each one of you to confirm if the screen is visible. Just give me a moment, please. Can you guys confirm if you can see the PowerPoint which says ACCA Audit and Assurance Overview?
Yes, please.
All right. Okay. So ACCA Audit and Assurance Overview Orientation Session, December 2025. Tutor, that's me, Shahrukh Yusuf. Welcome, everyone. A warm welcome to everyone, and um, thank you for your time today. So we'll move on to a bit about myself. Obviously, before we get to know the subject, I would like to introduce myself in the second slide. Yes. So that's a little bit about me. So my name, as you can see, and then my professional experience. So I have an experience of more than 5 years in financial reporting, financial auditing, technology auditing, and controls testing. Over the years, I've worked in different audit firms, including PwC, Grant Thornton, Deloitte, and then I moved to the industry. So I've worked in two different public limited companies within the UK. One being within the aviation industry, the other one being in a construction industry. So yeah, um, that's a bit diverse experience from moving from practice to the industry. As far as the tutoring experience is concerned, which is very much relevant for all of you and for this session. So I engaged with Vertex since in 2022. Just give me a second. Yeah, in 2022. And previously, I was engaged in dealing with F3 financial accounting and F7 financial reporting until December 2022, when I completely moved on with the F8. So yeah, I've been dealing and teaching F8 since December 2022. Yeah. Now, like I say in the last bullet point, um, not praising myself, I'm just telling what I emphasize on. So emphasizing on analytical skills, and this is one area that we'll have a look at when we'll see the trends, examination trends. And one more thing, evaluative drafting, that's very important. So I emphasize strongly on drafting and writing skills because you see, this exam is a theory-based exam, and honestly speaking, this requires quality writing. Okay, and don't worry, we will be definitely focusing on the drafting areas, the drafting tips, the writing techniques, the exam techniques. I keep on, shouting these two words, exam techniques, in every attempt, in every course. And that's because you see, this exam has a lot of detail in terms of um, in terms of theory. Okay, so the content is huge. All right, and in order to manage a huge content, what do we need? The best thing we need is the right exam technique. Okay, we have to play smart, and playing smart requires techniques, honestly. And yeah, overall exam focused approach, and that obviously you'll realize when we move forward in the course. Okay, so yeah, what we're going to do is in slide number 3, we are going to understand what audit is actually in this process flow. So this is a reverse, this process flow has been arranged in a reverse chronological order, and I believe it becomes way more friendly, way more easier. What is audit? Can you guys see it properly? Do you guys need me to zoom it? Can anybody confirm in the chat box, please, if it's visible enough, the screen?
No, swim.
Zoom? Okay, right. Is it fine now?
Yup.
Right. Okay. So, definition. What is audit? Audit is an independent verification of companies' financial statements. You might get confused as to what audit is, because at times, due to complex jargons, it becomes um, quite tricky and fiddly to understand and comprehend. But let's keep it very simple. Audit means independent verification. Verification of what? The financial statements. The financial statements include everything. They include your company's overall performance throughout the year. Those numbers reflect the company's performance, the operations, their businesses, even the decisions, and the financial position as at the year end. So when we say independent verification, let's make it a way more easier. Let's say check and balance. Somebody said, I purchased a ticket of um, for Los Angeles, from London to Los Angeles. And now if you have to verify it, you'll ask them, show us the receipt. Show me the email confirmation. Where did you buy the ticket from? Or show me the copy of the ticket. So what are you doing? You are checking his statement. Okay? You're not going for his word. You are actually asking him to share with you the receipt itself. So that's exactly what audit is all about. Say, if I'm the auditor and I go at the client says, I made a revenue of $40 million during the year, right? That's exactly what's there in the financial statements. But am I going to accept am I going to take his word? Am I going to rely on him? No. Obviously, I'm going to ask him for some evidence, and that evidence could be sales invoices, contracts, sales listing, things like these. Okay. What am I doing? I'm asking him to share with me the evidence, and this process is known as verification, checking, or audit. That's exactly what financial audit is all about. And the objective is very simple. We have to, at the end of the audit, all we need to do is we have to give an opinion based on the procedures, based on our workings, based on everything that we did at the client, based on our checking, based on our verification. Okay. And based on the evidence that we have received, right? Say, if you are traveling at the airport and you have been caught by the customs and they feel that you are carrying some unauthorized or illegal substance within your bags. They take you to an interview room. They ask you a couple of questions, and at the end, they give their decision. They give their opinion. Whenever they give their opinion, they have this. They use the word based on the evidence that we have received from the investigation performed. So, similar to that evidence, we say whenever we, the auditors, express an opinion, that opinion will be based on the evidence that we gather. Okay? And that evidence has to be sufficient and appropriate. Okay? What do you mean by sufficient and appropriate? That's another story. But to keep it simple, sufficient should be in terms sufficient. Say sufficient means the quantity. There should be the evidence should be in good enough quantity. Appropriate means the quality. Say the evidence should be from a third party, not from the client itself. Say the evidence should be in writing and not in a written form. Okay. So, reverse chronological order, I told you what the objective is: to express an audit opinion in the auditor's. Where do you express an opinion? We do it in the auditor's report. What do you need to express this opinion? Sufficient and appropriate audit evidence. Sufficient means the quantity, appropriate means the quality. And the written evidence is good in terms of quality. Directly obtained by the auditor is an appropriate evidence. Obtained from a third party, not from the client itself, not a client generated evidence. Say you're dealing with the cash bank balance of a client, and they give you a copy that this is our bank balance. And on the other hand, you also have an option to contact the bank directly, and the bank will give you the bank statements. So anything that you obtain directly from the bank is appropriate, because that's way more reliable. Okay. So is this clear to all of you? Does anybody have any questions so far, or shall we move on? If no questions, please mention in the chat box, okay to proceed in the chat box. Okay to proceed. All right. Audit process flow continued. All right. How do you achieve this evidence? How do we achieve sufficient and appropriate audit evidence? That's a question. We do it by performing audit procedures, and when we will be during the live sessions, and even in the recorded videos, you'll come across audit procedures like so many times. You'll also come across test of controls, or let me remove this yellow from here, substantive procedures. So there are two types. Second. So there are two types of audit procedures: test of controls or substantive procedures. Always remember this. Okay, don't confuse yourself. Test of controls or substantive procedures. These are basically these are um, you know this is part of the verification process. This is part of the investigation. These are the procedures that you perform to obtain the evidence. When does the auditor perform procedures to obtain evidence? Now, we do it during the fieldwork stage, when the auditor is responding to the assessed risk. And don't worry, in the next slide, we'll have a look at the stages of an audit. All right. During the field work, what do you mean by the field work? When we say field work, we mean we are actually placed or deployed on the client's premises. We are visiting the clients on a daily basis for about 6 weeks, maybe. And during that time, we'll be asking the client a couple of questions or couple of copies, supporting evidence, and any activity that you do during the field work is called performing audit procedures. Simple. When does the auditor assesses the risk? So the auditor assesses the risk at planning and risk assessment stage, after obtaining entities' understanding and also their internal controls. Obviously, before the fieldwork stage, we have got the planning stage. And what do you do over there? You assess the risk. Okay. Remember always, procedures can never be performed until and unless you know the risk. Okay. And in order to know the risk, you have to identify and assess them, the audit risk. So it goes like this: you assess the audit risk, you perform the procedures, you obtain the evidence, and in the end, you form an opinion. Okay. Now, what do you do before planning and risk assessment? Is there anything that we have to do before planning and risk assessment itself? Called the preliminary engagement activities and preconditions of audit. So that's basically a stage that's even before the planning and risk assessment stage. Okay. In the next slide, we look at the stages of audit, but in chronological order. This audit process flow was in a reverse chronological order. So is everybody happy so far? If happy, please write in the chat box happy. Or if anybody has a question, feel free to ask. Right. Okay. Yes. So basically, these are the details of the process flow in a chronological order. Now, as you can see, the first thing is preliminary engagement activities. The second one is planning and risk assessment stage, fieldwork testing or procedure performance stage, and the last one is completion and reporting stage. There's a reason why we have included this process flow in this slide, or in this, what do we say? Yeah, in this presentation. That's because your syllabus areas within your AA exam are based on the audit stages themselves. Okay, so every stage will have different chapters, or a couple of chapters, or a group of chapters. So we'll see that later on. But preliminary engagement activities include client acceptance, continuance decisions for new or continuing engagements, also agreeing on preconditions of audit. So basically, this, what in simple terms, what this stage is, at this point of time, there is absolutely no connection between the auditor and the client may raise a tender, or send in, or raise a tender to a couple of firms, and one of the audit firms may accept the tender and send in a proposal. So before accepting a particular client or before continuing with an existing client, there are a few matters that as an auditor that you need to consider, and those are called client acceptance or continuing decisions. Okay, and also checking on the preconditions of the audit. So what do we say? Client acceptance, continuance decisions. So before accepting a new client or continuing with an existing client, you need to see if the audit fee that is being offered is good enough. I mean, does it commensurate with the level of effort that is required as an auditor? Is the audit firm competent enough? I mean, does the audit firm have sufficient resources in terms of the right knowledge required for the industry the client operates in? If the audit firm has good enough audit seniors and managers available, is there a senior staff who is competent enough available? And yeah, integrity, client integrity. Also, you need to see if there is any question mark on the client's reputation itself. If the client has been involved with money laundering, what if the client has significant political affiliations? Okay, so these form part of background checks. Obviously, when you are accepting a new client and the client has um, a dirty past, as an auditor, you may be you may get caught, and if you may get caught, that you it won't be off guard. Obviously, at the end of the day, as an auditor, it's your responsibility to express the right opinion. Okay, I mean, you can't really say that it's not my fault, right? So the best thing is to just to stay away if the client has any suspicious affiliation or connection. Ethical threats at the client, for example, family relationships. Yeah, you need to see if there is any family relationship. Say if the audit partner's wife is the finance director, or say if the audit partner himself has significant shareholding in a particular client, so he has got financial interest, right? May create ethical threats himself. Ethical threat again uh, is a chapter. Basically, it's one of the chapters that we'll deal with later on during the live sessions, and it's also there in the recorded videos. Okay. Now, preconditions of audit. Preconditions of audit include Yeah. Preconditions of audit basically are a few conditions that you may need to see. Um, you need to ensure that the framework that the client is using, say, is acceptable. Most of the times it's IFRS that we use. So you see, if any of you um, has taken financial reporting F7, the course or the exam, you may know that this is the accounting standard that is being used in F7 financial reporting is the IFRS, and which is the same for F8. These two subjects are very much they are they're like sister companies or interlinked. Okay, so your financial reporting knowledge will come very handy in your audit and assurance exam for the preparation of financial. So this is one of the first conditions that you need to see if they are using the right framework, if it's acceptable. Also, you need to see that the management, you need to ensure that the management accepts their responsibility for preparing the financials, for for designing and implementing the internal controls. Again, internal controls is another important syllabus area of your double exam, and we'll see this later on. Lastly, to provide with the auditor with access to the auditor has the right to see whatever they want, and they have the right to access all the information that they feel is necessary for audit. Okay, so if the client restricts, does not agree with this point, that means the precondition is not being met. What if later on the client is not granting you access to copies, to information that you feel is necessary? What are you going to do? They are, like, it will result in an inability to obtain sufficient appropriate audit evidence. And if you cannot obtain audit evidence, how will you express your opinion? Okay. Now, lastly, okay, reporting stage. Okay, we'll see that later on. Don't worry. Yeah. So the second stage is, once, say, assuming that the client continuance decisions have been considered, the preconditions of the audit have been met. Now, what are we left with? Now we have actually accepted the engagement. Now we'll enter into the planning and risk assessment stage. This stage includes setting the terms of engagement, the engagement letter. Then you set the audit strategy and the audit plan. Okay. Thereafter, obtaining an understanding of the entity and its environment and also the internal controls. So what you do is that when the conditions have been met, the continence decisions have been performed or checked, you accepted the engagement, you determined all the terms of the engagement in the engagement letter. Engagement letter basically is a piece of paper which includes the responsibilities of both the parties, the audit fee that has been has been set, the scope of the engagement, what the engagement will be all about, and normally it is printed on the audit firm's letterhead logo, and then it is forwarded to the client. They sign it and keep a copy with themselves and return the original one back to the firm. Okay, that's how it works. Then you have the audit strategy. You set the audit strategy an audit plan. So audit strategy is like includes deployment of the resources, the timing of the audit, the extent of procedures that you'll perform. But that's a summarized document. That's like a audit plan is a detailed document that includes how are you going to implement everything that you decided within the audit strategy. So in simple terms, in strategy, we are deciding on the strategy. In plan, we are talking about how to implement that strategy. Okay. Once this is done, then we obtain an understanding of the entity and its environment and including the internal controls. Like I said, internal controls is a very important syllabus area, very important chapter. Basically, every company has certain parameters, has certain policies, has certain decorum, dynamics systems in place. They can't function without management, okay? They can't function without policies, can they? It is very important to have some sort of decorum, some sort of discipline. Say, um, when any of you, is anybody in this class a working student? Is anybody, just raise your hand if somebody is working in any company or any um, anywhere. Yes, Aishat, can you turn your mic on, please?
Yes, sir. I work in the government sector in the Maldives. I work in the tax authority. Yeah, so I'm also studying at the same time.
Okay, right. Uh, Now, I just wanted to ask, in your company, Ashad, you can keep your mic on. Um, so, in your company, wherever you work, have you ever seen the company statement, the mission statement, the company values on the walls or on the entrance?
Yes, it's visible on the website as well,
Yeah,
the walls as well. Yeah.
yeah. And you might have some sort of portal whereby you can see the HR policies, you can see the sales team policies. So things like these. Have you ever come across any of these things?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Right. So now you can turn your mic off. Yes, Roger, you turn your mic, you have raised your hand.
Yes, sir.
Same question to you. Have you ever come across any of these things?
Yes, please.
Yes, perfect. You can turn your mic off and put your hand down, please, Roger. This is exactly a great example of internal controls. Okay? A policy, mission statement, company values, HR policy. What are they? They are standard operating procedures or policy SOPs, sorry. They are systems. They ensure discipline. Okay, they ensure management, and they are all form a part of internal controls, right? So as an auditor, you need to have the right understanding of the entity's business, the entity's operations, the entity's environment, and all these policies, these systems, these internal controls. Because if you don't have the right understanding, how will you assess the risk? You guys remember, we in the previous slide we were talking about identifying and assessing audit risk. How is that possible if you do not have the right understanding? Isn't it? Obviously, whenever if I'm a university student and I have a final year project to present, otherwise I won't be I won't be awarded my degree. So in order to prepare that final year project, what's required? Sir, adequate research is required. Searching on the internet, looking out for different books, looking out for different sources in order to complete my project. So that researching, um, that checking on the sources, that's called understanding of the entity and its environment. Okay. So once done, we will assess the risk and then we will determine materiality. So what is materiality? It's another huge discussion. You will definitely come across this word materiality, the concept of it in the recorded sessions, and definitely when we'll be dealing with the audit reporting area, I'll discuss materiality in way more detail. But for now, think of materiality as a threshold, as a benchmark. Say, if you are at a client, um, obviously, audit is done on sample basis. Audit is not, you can't check everything. That's why we say, as an auditors, we express reasonable assurance. We do not express absolute assurance. Okay. As an auditor, what do? Sir, we express reasonable assurance. When I say reasonable assurance, And you will come across this reasonable assurance word in the in chapter 1, most probably, of our course. So reasonable assurance means that with all, based on the procedures that I perform, I can reasonably say that the client, the financial statements present fairly, or they give a true and fair view. But I'm not 100% sure. I'm reasonably sure. I'm not absolutely sure. You can never be absolutely sure, because there will always be an element of material misstatement or of problems that will go undetected. Okay? Because it is humanly impossible to check everything, to verify everything. So that's why we say audit is never performed. And this is a very important concept. Listen to me very carefully. It will be very beneficial not just within the exam, but in the practical life as well. So audit is always done on sample basis. You never check all the account balances, all the transactions, because you cannot do it. It's humanly impossible. And that's exactly the reason why, if it's done on sample basis, we always determine a materiality after assessing the risk. Now, materiality is a threshold which will tell you that anything below, say you set in a materiality for, it's a value, it's an amount. Say you set in a materiality for $5,000. Just giving you an example. You'll say, sir, anything below $5,000, I'm going to ignore, because that's ignorable, that's trivial, that's very minimal, or that's very small amount. Okay, anything above 5,000, oh, I'm not gonna let it go. That's quite um, uh, uh, that's quite important for me. That's quite significant in the context of audit. I'm not gonna let it go. Sorry. But if but and then materiality also has three different thresholds. You have got the planning materiality that's relevant for the whole financial statements. Then you have got the performance materiality that's relevant for certain elements within the financial statements. And then you set in the trivial threshold, that anything below trivial, I'm going to ignore. Why? Being minor, being small, being immaterial, ignored. Okay. Details again we'll deal with later, because I don't want to dump you all with an information overload. Okay, so let's keep it very simple today. Fieldwork stage. Okay, in this stage, auditors examine the accuracy of the financials using various tests. It may involve verifying transactions, overseeing procedures, or requesting more information. Now, this is where you perform the test of controls or substantive procedures. You guys remember in the previous slides we did. This is what you perform. And where do you perform this? At this stage, fieldwork, third stage. Okay. Now, once your procedures have been performed, you have done everything, you have gathered all the evidence that you required. Completion and reporting stage is the last stage. Okay. What do you do there? You express an opinion based on everything that you gathered. And those opinions are, there are two types of opinion. Unmodified opinion, that means a clean opinion. That means based on everything that you investigated, you can reasonably say that the client's financial statements present fairly, or they give a true and fair view. Modified opinion means, no, there's a problem. I'm not very happy. Based on everything that I obtained, or based on insufficient evidence. Okay. If you have insufficient evidence, or you were unable to gather evidence, you obviously give a disclaimer of opinion, because you will say, if I am unable to gather evidence, how can I express an opinion? And qualified or adverse, they are expressed when you see some problem, when you see some issue, when you see something's wrong. And the technical word for anything fishy, anything wrong, or any problem is material misstatement. Misstatement itself means a problem. Material means significant. Material means huge. Material means something that I cannot ignore. Okay? Material misstatement. Remember this. Are you guys happy so far? Shall we move on? Does anybody have a question? If happy to proceed, mention in the chat box. Okay. Number 6, right. Just give me a second. Yeah. So as I told you all that our syllabus areas and their relevance to audit stages. So our syllabus areas, as per the our exams syllabus areas that have been prepared by the examiner. See, they have not been prepared by me, by the ACCA examining body themselves. So they are very much relevant and related to the audit stages themselves. So even the names are quite familiar. So you see, Code of Corporate Governance is one of the syllabus area and audit stages. So it can be identified at any stage. Now see, Code of Corporate Governance does not have any proper stage. It can be, it can come across at any stage, but mostly at the planning and risk assessment stage. Okay. So if there is a code of corporate governance deficiencies, yeah, mostly at the planning and risk assessment stage, because that's when you are obtaining understanding of the entity. If you come across any deficiency, deficiencies are reported at the reporting stage. Yeah, obviously. What are you going to do with the deficiency for code of corporate governance? All you're going to do is that you will report them in a management letter or cover letter, depending upon their nature. And also, if you come across any deficiency, any problems as far as internal controls are concerned, you report them in management letter itself. Okay. So management letter is basically one of the documents that you present to the management at the end of the audit, that, okay, Mr. Management, this is the management letter. That's not the audit report. Okay. It's an additional document. And these are the deficiencies or the problems in your internal controls, in your or code of corporate governance that we came across. So that's chapter 3 from your Kaplan exam, Kaplan study text. So that's what we use, Kaplan exam kit, but your course has been designed on the Kaplan study text itself. Code of ethics, not specific to any stage. They can arise at any stage, depends on the nature of the threat. So that's chapter 4 from, in your course, Code of Ethics. Planning and risk assessment. Now, see, planning and risk assessment, and even the name of the stage is so similar. I mean, not similar, it's the same. Planning and risk assessment stage. Okay, that's chapter number 5 and 6. Very important area. Very important area. Internal controls. Syllabus area, audit stages. Planning stage, identify the design and implementation and the relevant control risk. Audit testing. So again, internal controls are relevant to different stages. Okay. I mean, for every stage, there's a different activity that we are doing with respect to internal controls. So at the planning stage, what are we doing? We will identify the design, the implementation, and the relevant control risk. That's when you are obtaining understanding of the entity and its environment. Now, once we have obtained the entity's understanding, obtained controls understanding, identified the control risk, at the fieldwork stage or audit testing stage or audit procedure performance stage, we will respond to those deficiencies, those problems, those risks, as far as internal controls are concerned. And at the reporting stage, we will communicate improvements or recommendations to those deficiencies in the management letter. Okay? Audit evidence and reporting. So these are two different stages. Audit evidence basically means audit evidence is fieldwork stage, and the reporting stage is completion and reporting stage. Okay, due to lack of space, I kind of included them together. So evidence is relevant, audit evidence is relevant to testing stage. Okay, so that's where you perform your procedures in order to obtain the evidence itself, right? So that's chapter number 7 and 10 of your course. And in the end, reporting stage. Completion and reporting stage is where you express your opinion in the auditor's report. So that's your chapter number 11 and chapter number 12. So we have ensured that we design our course in accordance with the audit stages, because that's exactly how your AA exam structure has been designed. Okay, so these chapters need to be dealt with together, not individually, but as a combination, because they are very interlinked. Now your exam structure, most important thing. So your exam has two sections, section A and section B, with 6 questions across the exam. So 3 questions in section A, 3 questions in section B. Question type, 3 MCQs in section A for 30 marks, 10 mark per MCQ. I'll repeat, 3 MCQs in section A for a total of 30 marks, 10 marks per MCQ, and 3 long structured questions in section B for 70 marks. So how are they set? Let me, if I have some space, I'll try to manage it. 30 marks, 1 question, and 2 for 20 mark each. So this means in section B, there will be, section B gives you a total of 30 marks, okay? So 70 marks, sorry. Section B gives you a total of 70 marks, okay? And within those 70 marks in section B, there will be 1 question for 30 marks, and the other 2 questions will be for 20 mark each. So 30 plus 20 plus 20, 70. In section A, you have got 30 marks, right? And you have got 3 MCQs, 10 mark per MCQ, right? The time allowed is 180 minutes, and this is something that we will definitely focus on during the course, which says stress, pressure, and time management, the most important area. That means you have 100 marks. 100 marks, 180 minutes. What do you have? 1.8 minute per mark. Okay. So always keep this in mind. But when we will be doing, when we'll be dealing with our course, our questions, so I'll tell you to focus on 1.5 minute per mark. Never, just assume you have 150 minutes. Don't assume that you have 180 minutes. Always keep a margin for delays. Try to complete it within 150 minutes. That's exactly how you will be able to actually complete it in 180. Always prepare yourself in such a way from day one. Okay? Oh, I already had this here in the slide. Right. Okay. So in section A, I told you 3 MCQs, each question will fetch 10 marks. And each question will have 5 sub requirements with 2 marks per requirement. 3 questions in total, 10 mark per question, and every question with 5 sub requirements, 2 mark per requirement. In that section B, we already discussed course overview. So what do we have for you guys at VLS? So we have complete pre-recorded sessions for all chapters from chapter first till the last chapter. Okay, but trust me, we'll be dealing with your course in as syllabus area. So I do not focus much on chapters, but I focus on syllabus, getting the syllabus areas right, because that's exactly how your exam is designed. Okay, so you've got pre-recorded sessions for all chapters, so you can take them at your convenience. Then we have weekly live sessions, and that's my most favorite element, weekly live sessions, because that's where we focus on drafting practice exam techniques. Okay, like I told you, this is a theory exam and there's lots of information. In order to excel in this exam, you need to have excellent writing skills. In order to have excellent writing skills, you need the right exam technique. Okay, many times, even if you don't know much about a topic, you can pass the exam if you have the right exam technique. All you need to do is learn those techniques, those tips, those cheat codes. Then topical assignments and overall syllabus mock. Oh, so this is something that we have been doing for a very long time. Topical assignment. After every assignment, obviously, um, in order to check where you stand or where you are, you will have topical assignments and an overall syllabus mock. And yeah, if anybody wants to share them more for feedback, more than welcome, more than happy, because we always expect you guys to send in your your assignments, your overall and the syllabus mock, so that you guys can receive your feedback and kind of improve. Complete chapter wise. Now this is something um, I focus way more on during your session, and probably a few days before your exam, 15-20 days before your exam. We'll be focusing on chapter wise notes. Chapter wise notes you guys already have. So what I was talking about extra information notes and exam technique notes. I'll also show you guys where these notes are on the website. Okay, so and at the end of every chapter you will have a chapter wise note. So if you want to refer to Kaplan study text, you're more than welcome. But we definitely recommend following our Vertex notes because they are more than enough. But if you are somebody who wants to dive deep into information, into an information ocean, then you have got the Kaplan exam study text itself. Okay. Structured study plan. Yeah, very important. And this study plan in WhatsApp group. Okay. In WhatsApp group, that's one of my most favorite elements as well. WhatsApp group, because you see, I'll be meeting you guys and that too virtually once a week. But that doesn't mean that we won't be connected. Our WhatsApp group is very active. Okay. All you need to do is to stay active because we are very active, to entertain your queries, to welcome your questions and share with you all the study plans or even extra information or threads. There may always be one thing or the other that we'll have to play around just to secure the maximum possible marks in the examination. Focus on stress, pressure, and time management. I will keep on repeating these keywords over and over again till it, fits in your minds and step stamps in your heart. Okay. Stress, pressure, and time management is the most important tool for a student, honestly speaking. Because many times, even if you are the best of the best, you will definitely struggle if you cannot manage your stress. Okay. Right. So far, does anybody have any question before we move on to the examiner report. If anybody is feeling that they are being overloaded with information, feel free to say. Okay? Anything from anybody? If you are happy to proceed, just mention in the chat box. Obviously, I will definitely speak to each one of you at the end of the session because I always expect interactive participation, interactive sessions. Otherwise, it feels like, oh, you are talking to robots. It's a world of AI already. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I will share the examiner report with all of you right now. I'm good. Okay. So let's close this for a while. Just give me a moment, please. Yeah, it's taking a while. My word. Right. Is it visible to all of you? Just hold on, please. Sorry. There has been some dumb problem. Just give me a moment. Sorry. Now is it visible? The Word file. Can anybody confirm, please? The Word file, is it visible? Okay. Yeah, so we won't go in much detail, But what we're gonna do is that we will just skim it a bit. So you see weaknesses in MCQ section A: weak knowledge of completion and reporting stages, poor breadth of syllabus coverage, candidates struggle with topics not frequently tested, guessing answers instead of applying knowledge. That's something that you need to avoid. And that's something that we do in MCQs. Do not try to guess your answer. Try to use your knowledge. The suggestion is for improvement: practice exam kit MCQs regularly under time condition. And this is something very important for section A, because in live sessions we'll be focusing way more on section B's, because section B requires drafting. For section A, what I expect from you all is take your pre-recorded sessions and every day practice section A MCQs. Okay, because practicing section A MCQs is actually part of your preparation and probably part of obtaining knowledge. Many times you won't be able to obtain knowledge from lectures or from notes, but from attempting MCQs and then checking the suggested answers. So basically, that's exactly what I want to say is that from day one, make a habit of practicing one MCQ every day or two MCQs every day. Take them seriously, because they can become a real problem if not dealt with properly. Okay. Let's see what they are saying for section B. You see, planning and risk assessment. I told you all that this is such a favorite top area of your examiner, and this is based on the audit stage itself. Vague responsibilities, vague answers, generic risk not linked to the scenario, weak knowledge of accounting standards. What did I tell you in the beginning of the class? That your FR knowledge will come very handy, because you need to know the accounting standards, but you don't have to be a champion, but at least you have to have some basic knowledge of the accounting standards themselves. Generic risk not linked to the scenario. That means students are just writing their book-based knowledge. Section B is all about scenarios and all about application. It's all about how you use the information. And so is section A. But in section A, you have limited, your scope is limited, because you have got 4 options or 5 options to deal with, and you have to select the right option. In section B, actually, you can impress the examiner. The ground is yours by showing him your beautiful writing skills. Your writing skills, your exam technique can definitely impress the examiner. Okay. And that's why they say use the case scenario. Many times, even if you don't have the right book knowledge, should not be the case, but you know how to use the scenario in the right way, in the right manner, you will definitely excel and pass. Trust me. So you see, use a structured approach, identify. So that's something that we'll definitely deal with later on. I'll also share this document on my screen at the end of this session. Sorry, at the end of in the last live session for December 2025 sitting, say after 3 months or say after 2 months. So when I'll be resharing this in the end of November, this document will make way more sense, because at that time we would have discussed and dealt with all these questions. Okay, so you would be able to recall all the exam techniques that we discussed in the live sessions. Right now, many things might not make sense to you, but all I want to show is why students fail and what suggestions the examiners have um, given. So they say your risk should be tailored to the scenario, no generic textbooks, and students possess not generic textbook, and students possess good accounting knowledge. Say same goes for substantive, vague procedures, generic answers not linked to the assertions. You'll see later what assertions are. Link each procedure to assertion. Familiarize yourself with accounting standards basics. Practice tailoring procedures. That means your procedures, anything you write should be linked to the scenario in hand. You can't really ignore it. Internal controls, clear format, confusing test of control with recommendation, that shows lack of knowledge, weak knowledge. Recommendations too vague or impractical. Anything. So see, you see one thing's common: lack of knowledge or insufficient knowledge. Lack of knowledge will definitely, you will be confusing two different concepts. Insufficient knowledge is something else. If you have insufficient knowledge, then you won't be able to apply um, whatever that knowledge to the scenario. Your recommendations will be vague. So the examiner at this level expects you to use your knowledge rather than just giving book-based answers. Nobody wants bookish answers. Okay. Same goes for code of ethics. General observation. Knowledge-based questions. Sir, what are knowledge-based questions? We'll see them in a while. So this is also a very, very important element that I have to discuss. Okay. I mean, this knowledge-based questions may not reward you much marks during in your double A exam, but we can't ignore them either. Okay. So I'll give you how, I'll tell you how we will deal with them. Okay. General observations. So they, again, they are not very rewarding, but they can't be ignored at the same time. Time management remains a recurring weakness. So that's why I say allocate minimum 1.8 minute per. So sorry, that's what the examiner says, 1.8. I will say 1.5 minute per mark. Forget about 1.8 minute. From now on, stick it into your heads. It's 1.5 minutes per mark. Generic, untailored answers score poorly. Apply to the scenario. Use correct ISA terminology. I mean, you don't have to use the accounting standard numbers or the auditing standard numbers, but your terminologies should be right. Like unmodified opinion, unqualified. There is no such word as unqualified. Avoid copy pasting. Summarize in your own words. Practice on CBE platform. So I'll show you what the CBE platform is later on. Definitely for stress, pressure, and time management. Even the examiner is recommending stress, pressure, and time management, aren't they? So we are very much aligned with the examiner, aren't we? So these are examiner words. I've just tried to summarize them some way or the other. And does anybody have any question from this area? If you are happy to proceed, just let me know. Just respond in the chat box, please. Okay. Give me a Just hold on, guys, please. There's something wrong with the Excel file. Is it visible? The Excel file which says exam trends. Can you guys see it? Now, yes. Okay. Right. Right. So if you have a look at this Excel file, so I'll show you. Now these are the exam. Somebody has their mic open. Can you turn your mic off, please? Turn your mic off. Yes. Right. Okay. So these are the passing trends since March 2023, and that's in front of you, fairly possible that from March 2023 up until March 2025, I don't have that. I can't. I didn't. I forgot to actually include the data for June 25. But okay, we still have quite a lot of information. So the lowest score was in December 2023, and that is 41%. And the highest was in March 25. Okay, so that's not very far. That's in 47%. So if we just, you guys are appearing in December. So what if we check December's? 41, December 23, December 24, 44. What do you guys expect for December 25? 47? Let's not make it a trend like this, okay? The source is ACCA website, but on average, you can see, the passing ratio is not on the very higher end. So 40s, we are just playing in 40s. So that very much tells that this is a challenging subject. And why? Because historically, I mean, I don't think it's challenging, but historically, as you can see in front of our screens, it has been a challenge for students, and probably that's um, because it's a theory exam, and us accountants, we like calculations, we like numbers, and we rarely get the chance to deal with. We do get the chance to deal with numbers, but that's very rare. Uh, but there's a lot of theory. Again, in order to manage theory, best writing skills, and exam techniques, like I always say, let's have a look at trends. Now, this file tells us the syllabus areas that have been examined in June 2020 in the last 3 attempts. So we have December 24 examination, June 24, and June 25. So we have the data available for 3 exam sittings: September, December 24, March, June 24, and June 2025. Okay. So syllabus areas, topics covered, question type, scenario or knowledge. Now these analysis have been made on section B. Always remember, it's not. We do not. It's not. Section A is not included here. It's all section B. All section B, because based on the ACCA past exams, if on the website, within the past exams, they don't include section A. I don't know why. I don't know why they do it, why they don't do it. They only include section B questions. So we can't really do much about it. So we can only make analysis based on the available information. And this is the available information. We are just talking scenario based, sorry, talking section B here. Right. So as you can see, in planning and risk assessment, there is this scenario based question of 8 marks. Describe audit risk, describe audit risk. And this is a very repetitive requirement. In every attempt, you should be expecting a question like this, whereby they'll say, describe audit risk. Okay. And then Same goes for intern. So you see, there was this question in June 25. There was this question in June 24. There was this question in December 24. Okay. If we talk about internal controls, so control reliance, test of control, control deficiencies, control recommendations. Either of these two, either they may ask you control reliance and test of controls, or they may ask you control deficiencies, test of controls, and recommendations, or they can ask you everything. Okay. So these are also overlapping requirements. So in December 24, they pretty much asked everything for 16 marks. In June 2024, they asked again reliance and recommendations for 16 marks. Now here in June 25, they only asked deficiencies and recommendation again for 16 marks. So again, this is a very repetitive requirement. You should be expecting this all the time. Okay. Knowledge based questions. What are knowledge based questions? So knowledge based questions are questions that do not relate to the scenario in section B. You can answer knowledge-based question based on the knowledge that you gained from pre-recorded sessions, from your chapter notes, or from the live sessions. Okay, so that's book-based knowledge or rote learned knowledge. I mean, you don't have to refer to the scenario. In fact, there will be a note just below the knowledge-based requirement, and the note will say you do not have to refer to the scenario. So the examiner is telling you that you don't have to look at the scenario above, the case scenario above to answer this requirement. Your book knowledge is more than enough. Okay. And these knowledge based questions are examined in section B, firstly. Secondly, they do not uh, have any connection. They do not have any connection with the scenario. Number three, book-based rote learned knowledge should be sufficient enough to answer these knowledge-based questions. Number four, they are examined in planning and risk assessment and internal controls. And as you can see, the trend that's in front of you. In all these three attempts, knowledge-based questions have only been examined in these syllabus areas: planning, risk assessment, and internal control. Sir, so what are the syllabus areas in section B? Planning and risk assessment is the first syllabus area in section B. Internal controls, substantive procedures, audit reporting. Okay, so they are must. Yeah, you may come across code of corporate governance as well. You may come across uh, code of ethics as well. But code of corporate governance and code of ethics may be tested or may not be tested in section B. We don't know. It's like a may or may not case. But planning and risk assessment, internal controls, audit evidence, substantive procedures, internal controls, they will be examined 100% in section B. Okay. And one thing's for sure, your knowledge-based question will be examined from these two syllabus areas most probably. Okay. And now, sir, what are we going to do? Knowledge-based questions seem very difficult. Let's see further analysis. Okay. Let's have a look at knowledge-based questions over here. In the last 3 exam sittings, the knowledge-based questions weightage is in front of you. They were examined for 8 marks in the last two in June 25, 8 for in June 24, and 9 marks for December 25 out of 70 marks in section B. So they represent 11, 11, 13%, on average 12% of section B itself. And they represent on average 8.5% of your whole ACCA AA exam, right? So you don't have to worry much about them. Like I say, they are not very rewarding. You can see the weightage in front of you. but we can't even ignore them. So we have a document that I'll show you later on to deal with knowledge base areas, because they can ask you anything from planning and risk assessment. And as we saw, like we see knowledge based question for planning and risk assessment in 3 different attempts. Say knowledge based question, planning and risk assessment. In December 24, they asked benefits of audit planning. It was a 4-mark requirement. In June 24, for planning and risk assessment, they asked considerations of laws and regulations. Again, in June 25 recent attempt, they only asked the responsibilities relating to fraud in relation. Again, requirements are so different in every attempt. The nature is same, they are knowledge based, but the requirement is different. But one thing's for sure, have a look at the number of marks, just 4 marks in each attempt. And same goes for internal control. So say in December 24, 5 components of internal control, 5 marks. Okay. In December 24, benefits of audit planning, 4 marks. So 5 plus 4, 9. And here we see 9 out of 70. So that represents 13%. But scenario-based questions represent 89, 87% on the higher end. So that's exactly the reason why in live sessions, we'll be focusing way more on scenario-based. There's a reason why I'm telling you this in advance, so that somebody might think later on during the course that we are focusing way more on scenario-based. Why? This is the reason why. The weightage is in front of you. And these are not my figures. This is exactly what has happened in the examinations. So here was one category of knowledge and scenario-based. The other category is of the syllabus areas. So Code of Corporate Governance, Planning and Risk Assessment, their percentages, as you can see, as a percentage of Section B, like I told you, that planning and risk assessment, internal control, substantive and audit reporting, they will be examined no matter what. Code of ethics and code of corporate governance may or may not be examined. So you see, code of corporate governance, 6% in December 24, June 24, 0%, June 25, 0%, not examined. But that doesn't mean that we can ignore it. We'll do everything. Planning is on the higher end, 17, 26, 17%. Okay. Internal controls, they have been very consistent, 30, 29, 30. Substantive procedure is basically the love of your examiner's life. He loves this area. It's like his girlfriend, honestly. 40%, oh my God, 40% out of 70 marks available, 28 are coming from substantive, 39%, 39%. In here, sorry, Code of Ethics, in June 25, 9%. Okay. Audit reporting, 777. Now, I always recommend a combo that whenever we deal with syllabus areas in section B, and we'll deal with this, I'll share this examination trend Excel file definitely later on when we'll during the end of our course. Okay, we'll 100% share with this file. I'll share this file, and at that point of time you'll understand what this combo means, how important this is. I always make a combo of audit risk, substantive procedures, and audit reporting. So this one, the ones highlighted in yellow, audit risk, that's combo 1. So you see combo 1 offers you 70 multiplied by 63. So how did I calculate 63? 17 plus 39 plus 7. So that's a total of 63% of your section B. So that's giving you 44% in total, 44 marks. In June 24, combo 1 was fetching you 49.7 marks. And in December 24, combo 1 was fetching you 44.8 marks. Can I ask somebody, can I ask Whom can I ask? Ria, can you turn your mic on, please? Ria.
Yeah, hello.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I'm hearing you.
All right. Ria, do you know what are the minimum marks that we need to pass AA exam?
50.
Sorry?
50. 50.
50. 50. And what is the difference between this figure, sorry, this one, um, the one in green, 49.7 and 50?
Oh, maybe negligible
Maybe
because
negligible.
that would probably be a pass, right?
Yes. So do you get my point? Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Do you understand how important combo one is for us? We need 50 marks to pass the exam, and 49.7 marks are attainable from only these three areas: planning, risk assessment, substantive, and audit reporting. You can turn your mic off now, Ria. It's fine. In combo 2, we have internal controls, code of ethics, and code of corporate governance. And that's in front of you. In the last 3 attempts, we only had, like 29% from internal controls and 9% from code of ethics. So it was giving us 26 marks, 20 marks in June 24, and almost 25 marks in December 24. And internal controls is a constant, as you can see. Have a look at the trend in combo 2. Internal control remains constant, 29, 30, 30. Code of corporate governance and code of ethics, there is a fluctuation. But sir, what if they are not examined in section B? Will they not be examined at all? If they are not examined in section B, remember, there is a very high chance they'll be examined in section A. So don't take anything for granted. I mean, the point of sharing this Excel file isn't that we will be ignoring areas that are not examined, just to show you all the trend, or just to make a plan or like a priority plan. You can keep a check on topics that you think are priority, but that doesn't mean we'll be ignoring topics that are not priority. Okay. Either everything is important or nothing's important. Okay. It's either way. So, any questions so far from these analysis? There's a huge audience today. Does nobody have any question?
No.
Right. Okay. So let me just give me a moment, please. Yeah. Screen sharing is a challenge today. It really is. Okay.
Hello. Can you? Can you?
Okay, so sorry about that. Just give me a second. Let me see if I'm able to share. If it's still causing problems, and we'll look at something else. Yeah, can you guys see the screen in front of you, which says VLS Online Courses F8? Is it visible to all of you? Can anybody confirm in the chat box, please? Okay, right. So if you have a look at, so this is what our audit and assurance course looks like. Okay, if you navigate on the Vertex Learning Solutions website and scroll down, you can see chapter 1, 2, 3, demo lessons, introduction to course. So if I just open, say I open systems and controls, chapter number 8. Okay, so you have all the pre-recorded sessions, and at the end you can see complete study notes, like I told you. Then you have practice stage, kit and exam videos. Okay, then you also have a list of practice questions that have already been given as pre-recorded. So they are a combination of section A and section B both. And at the end, you have got a quiz. So that's how your course looks like. It's designed chapter wise. Okay. And then in the end, we have most importantly, past papers. We have also given you past, ignore changes. You can ignore this changes to relevant to for September 2025 for now. Yeah, I'll change it to December because these changes are also relevant for December 25. So for now, you can ignore it. You can ignore previous live session videos, technical articles, but you should be focusing on chapter number 1 up until chapter 13. And focus on changes once it's changed to December. Past papers. So we have got all the past papers here. So from 2022 up until December 2024, and I'll try and see if we can manage to fit in June 2025 exam as well here. So if you want to practice, more than welcome, everything's over there. Lastly, this is what I was talking about. Exam technique and application notes. This is also a very important section in within your course. So you better download all of these, okay? All of these. And I'll also reshare them in the WhatsApp group and tell you how and when we'll be using them. Okay, but download them, have a go and see what they are all about. So accounting standards commonly examined in AA are summarized here. Exam technique notes for the whole syllabus, for every syllabus area, different techniques, everything's compiled here. Most importantly, this is the full version. This is the full version of examiner report. And this is the summary that I just showed you in the beginning of the session. You remember, I shared a summary. So this is the full version of that summary. And this is the knowledge-based question I was talking about. As I told you, that knowledge-based question, you can't really predict what will be examined. But one thing we can predict, or one thing we do know, what we know versus what we don't know. What we don't know what exactly it is going to be examined. Sir, what we know We know that knowledge-based questions are examined in section B. We know that knowledge-based questions will be examined from planning and risk assessment and internal control syllabus areas. Okay. And one more thing we know, that they may not be examined for more than 8 to 9 marks out of total 70 marks available for section B. So we know their weightage is relatively very, very low. They are not very rewarding, but their quantum is huge. Why is it huge? Because we don't know what exactly will be examined. Sir, so how are we going to deal with it? The best thing is, there's this whole comprehensive list of all knowledge-based questions with the answers. The questions and also the answers that have been examined, that have been historically examined in the last 10-15 years. So we tried our level best to compile this list for all of you. And one thing's also for sure, knowledge-based questions are repetitive. So you remember the knowledge-based questions I showed you in the Excel file? Benefits of audit planning, auditor responsibility for fraud, or 5 components of internal controls. These questions were examined in June 24, 25, and June 24, June 25, December 24. But they have also been examined previously, say somewhere in 2015 or 2016. So this document will come very handy. So you have to use this document from the very first day alongside your preparation. Just keep going through this document. Do not memorize the answers because you are not expected to write the way the examiner does. All you need to know is learn how to make a point. You will be rewarded for making the relevant points, and making relevant points require your sentence should make sense. It should have the right keyword. Do not write uh, do not write layman language or layman answers, or uh, like you have to write technical answers, not layman answers. Yeah. So technical answers include the right keyword and ensuring your sentence makes sense. Every point will fetch you 1 mark in total. Do not try to impersonate the examiner, because this list will have the examiner's version of the answer. But definitely from the very first day, alongside, say if you are preparing for if you are watching pre-recorded videos for chapter 1, alongside chapter 1, practice section A questions and go through knowledge-based questions. Okay, that's the best way to prepare for an area that's quite huge but not very rewarding. You saw just 8 to 9% of section B. Now, what do we have here? Now, I am going to show you the ACCA practice platform. Okay, so this is the ACCA website. You write in your username, your password, sign in, and it will directly take you to the ISS administrator. Okay. Now, browse available exam. Now you click on browse available exams and it will give you the list of all the exams. You select audit and assurance. So I'd already assigned myself 2 exams. So you see, when you assign yourself, so you'll have this list in front of you. So you see AA September, December 24, AA March, June 2025. So if you click on resume, this is the best platform to practice, and this exactly helps you with stress, pressure, and time management. Because if you will practice here, you will familiarize yourself with the ACCS platform. It will be nothing new for you. You will be familiar with it. You will be acquainted with it. You will be comfortable with the software itself, and at the end of the day, when you will actually sit in your exam, you will be very confident. Okay. So I'll click on resume test, and it takes me to the ISS examiner. How this software works, there is another video for it in chapter number 13, employability and skills. But I'm not going to share, I'm not going to tell how this software works today. There is another video. If you just go over here, chapter number 13, employability and technology skills. Okay, so over there you can see how this software actually works. And I'm just showing you. You have got the calculator, you have got the option to highlight. You click on anything and click on highlight. Okay, here it is, highlighted. This is the question that I told you. Describe 8 audit risk and explain the auditor responses. So you remember describing audit risk, I told you 8 marks, and explaining auditor responses, 8 marks in total, 16 marks. Okay, this is section B. Now let's move forward, but I wanted to show you what knowledge-based questions are. So this is the scenario I was talking about. I was mentioning the word scenario. So this is what scenario is on your left-hand side. That's the scenario. This is your requirement. Describe 8 audit risks, and this is your answer box. Your answers should be linked to this scenario on your left-hand side of the screen. Okay, but sir, knowledge-based questions you mentioned do not relate to the scenario. Okay, this is what knowledge-based questions look like. Oops, sorry. No, not this one, not this one. Navigator, the question, first question. Okay, I have to view the whole screen, so it won't let you move forward if you haven't viewed the whole screen. Okay, so I'll view it now, and this is what knowledge-based question is all about. You see, question is explain the benefits of audit planning. See, I included this within our Excel file. Explain the benefits of audit planning. You do not need to refer to the scenario in this requirement. Do you see that? You do not need to refer to the scenario. Explain the benefits. So every benefit, I obviously did not write the whole answer. I was just trying to make a point here, Alex. But yeah, I just wanted to show you that this is what knowledge-based questions are. So sir, what do we need? Benefits of audit planning. The answer to this requirement can be, you can get the answer to this requirement, or the answer can be achieved from pre-recorded sessions, from study notes, and yeah, that's it. So these were knowledge-based questions. Okay, just give me a second. Yeah, okay. So question asked, answer time. I will be mentioning each one of you and asking each one of you to see how they are feeling. Obviously, it's my, I really need to know how you guys are feeling, or what's going on in your heads. So I'll start off with, can I speak to Anna? What's her full name? Anna Shohiva. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, I can hear you.
Hi, Anna. How are you doing?
I'm good.
And can you just give a brief introduction of yourself, as to where you're from and what exams are you planning to take in December?
Okay, my name is Anna, currently residing in England.
Sorry, where
And
is? Say again,
my
please.
name is, I'm currently residing in England.
England.
So
Okay.
yes. And I'm sitting for F7 and F8 this season, December.
Okay. Right. F7 and F8. All right.
Yes.
And F7, are you also taking from Vertex or somewhere else?
I'm only taking from you guys.
From Vertex. So, right. What are your thoughts? How are you feeling after the session? Is there anything in your head at all?
I'm excited. I'm
Excited?
excited.
Excited?
Mhm. Yes,
All right.
I've got a clear picture of what I need to look at. So I think it's doable. It
Were
just
you
needs my
actually
effort.
initially scared of this subject?
Um, Not necessarily, not
Mhm.
necessarily because as an accountant, I've worked with auditors, but
Mm.
when they were auditing my side, so I'm
All right.
excited. So
Oh,
most of
okay.
the,
So you have dealt with the auditors in real life.
yes,
Oh, that's brilliant. Definitely that experience will come handy. Okay, Anna, I'll be looking forward to meeting you in the live sessions then.
thank,
Okay? Right.
thank you.
Lovely speaking to you, Anna. Now I'll speak
Okay.
with Ria. Ria, can you turn your mic on, please? Ria.
Yes, sorry about that.
Yes, Ria, can you also give a brief introduction of yourself? And I remember you were there in the last session for September 2025. I can recall you, but
Mhm.
that was specifically focused towards September 25, and I hope I knew that there would be lots of things, like going over the head. But this session is for introductory orientation session for December 25. So just let us know about yourself. What exam are you taking in December
Mhm.
and how you found the session today?
Mhm. Yes, and yes, I would have attended the last session for September 25 by accident, I would say, because I'm really preparing to write exams for
Mhm.
audit in
Yeah,
December,
yeah, yeah.
along with the lower paper in December.
F4.
F4, yes. So those are the two papers I'm doing in December. And yes, I found you all through social media. I'm very impressed so far. I mean, I have done a lot of your lectures on the portal.
Yeah.
Very comprehensive. So I'm doing my part to try to keep ahead of those lectures and notes and study.
But you always need a start, for every exam sitting and for every exam, you always need a start, isn't it? Like an introduction orientation. And
Yes.
this session was the kickstart for officially for December 25. So how did you find it overall?
I love how you brought it across in terms of giving a overview of how the syllabus is built.
Yeah,
So it gave me a better
better view.
appreciation,
Mm.
not seeing it in parts
Yeah.
by, doing the chapters that I've done already, but
Mhm.
understanding what the outcome should be.
So things are starting to make sense for you, isn't it?
Yes, yes,
That's
I am
key.
able to start seeing what the bigger picture is in
Mm.
terms of the outcome
Right.
towards December.
Brilliant. So you're confident and not very nervous, aren't you? Yeah.
I'm very confident. I really want to get
Right.
into the meat of it, and yes.
Lovely. Lovely. That's the spirit. And everybody else take notes from Ria. That's exactly what your attitude should be. It was nice talking to you, Ria, and I'll
Thank you.
looking forward to meeting you in the live sessions. Okay.
Yes,
Now,
thanks.
yes. Now I'll speak with, you can turn your mic off now. Now I'll speak to Lyle, Lyle.
Good evening.
Good evening, Lyle. How are you, my friend?
Good, thanks. And you?
I'm good, not too bad. Thank you. Can you also introduce yourself, where you're from, the exams, and your experience today?
Yeah, my name is Lyle Gredic from
Mhm.
South Africa, Durban. Yeah, I'm working in the more tax field, looking to branch out into auditing. Yeah, and I'll be doing the F8 and the tax, South African tax in December.
Okay. South Africa, right. Are you based near Cape Town?
No, I'm in Durban.
Oh, Durban. Okay. Sorry. And how was your, are you taking Vertex, are you taking text from Vertex as well, or any other?
No, I'm doing it from, I think it's IBTC South African guys,
Oh, okay.
because I'm doing the
Right.
South
Somewhere else.
African,
Okay.
yes,
Right.
variant, yes.
No
Yes.
problem. And how was your experience today?
It's quite a lot, looking at it. But yeah, I enjoyed the way it was presented. And it's a lot of, yeah, it's a lot of work. That's 3 months is not a lot of time.
Yeah, but one thing's for sure. Every time you feel there's a lot you need to do, um, the best approach is structured planning. Okay. And
Okay.
that's how we will proceed in the next 3 months. Obviously, there will be lots of questions in the first session, but I am 100% sure that as we progress within the next couple of weeks, everything will start to make a lot more sense.
Awesome. Thanks.
Yeah. Right. Okay. I will be looking forward to meeting to you as well, Lyle. It was lovely talking to you. Take care. And now you can turn your mic off now, and I'll speak to Roger. Roger that. Roger Federer.
Yes, sir. Good evening.
Good evening. Can you introduce yourself? If have you previously attended any F8 session?
Yes, please. Yeah,
Your name sounds familiar.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. I
yeah.
called you
So
Roger Federer before as well, didn't I?
yes, please.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. What have
yes.
you retired from tennis?
No, please. So I'm Roger from Ghana. Yeah, so I'm currently working as an accountant, and then I'm taking the F6, F7, and F8 paper in
F6,
December.
F7, and F8. Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
please. Yeah,
And
yeah.
are you
And my
full-time
experience.
student or
No, I'm working. So I'm doing a part-time. I'm a part-time student.
part-time?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
And how
yeah.
did you find it overall today? What are your
Yeah,
thoughts?
well, yes. So my thoughts are um I'm a bit anxious, let me put it that way, because I see that there's a lot that I'm supposed to do. Since I'm writing three, I'm looking at how I'm going to plan my time so that I can be able to cover up all the topics before December.
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, that's fine. But did you find anything helpful at all today?
Yes, yes, yes. So it gave me a clear idea of what I'm supposed to do, like
Yes, okay. Yeah.
the amount of effort I'm supposed to put into.
I mean,
So
you're not blank.
this
You know what you need to
no,
do. Yeah.
yes, please, yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
So are you starting to feel better? Not,
Yes,
if not the
yes,
best,
I'm a bit relieved. Yes, I'm
bit
relieved
relieved.
because
Yeah.
I can see. Yeah,
So you have had a good start. Hmm?
yes, please. Yes,
Yeah.
thanks to you.
Okay, that's lovely. And I will be seeing you in the live sessions and expecting lots of questions from your end. Okay. It
Certainly.
was lovely talking to you, Roger. Take care.
Okay, thank you.
Then we have Muhammad Abdul Wahab. Can I speak to Muhammad Abdul Wahab, please?
Yes, hello.
Hello, my friend. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
Yes,
I'm,
Abdullah. Can you introduce yourself to everyone, please?
yes, I'm Mohammed from Egypt, Cairo.
Egypt, Cairo. Okay. Yeah.
I'm working for an oil gas sector as accounting supervisor.
Yeah.
Just finished, passed my diploma in IFRS in
Mm-hmm.
last June around.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking to move forward with ACCA,
Yeah.
and I think double A subjects as well to start with. As in, I think it's as you said in the session, there is an interlink between IFRS and AA. So I think it's
100%.
a good choice to start.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Now, obviously, you are working as an accounting supervisor, and I feel you would be dealing with the accounting standards on a daily basis.
Sure.
So, yeah.
Sure.
So that practical experience will definitely will definitely help you out in
It
financial
helped me
reporting
too
exam.
much
Yeah.
in this area in my job and my daily working. Of course, I think AA will help me also in this
Yeah.
field.
Yeah. So how
Feeling
was your experience today?
I'm exciting. It's a very good session, and I think it's start. It's gave me a kick start.
Kickstart.
Yes,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it's arranging things and ideas in my head. Sorry. So I
Sorry,
think
what?
it's arranging things and a lot of ideas on my head about AA. It's a
Okay.
very helpful session.
Yeah. I mean, at least you have a good start, isn't it?
Yes, yes,
Yeah, okay. You're feeling better and you know what to do in the couple of days, in the days to come.
yes, of course, yes.
Okay. No, lovely. Okay, Abdul Wahab, I will be seeing you in the sessions, and yeah, looking
Thank you.
forward to connecting with you.
Thank you. Salam
Now,
alaikum.
Walaikum Assalam. Now we have, who do we have in the class? Piso Yuseni, PU. Is it Piso or Peso? How do I say your name? Pezo.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, sir. It's
How do I say your
Pezo.
name?
It's Pezo.
Peso. All right. Okay,
Yes,
Peso.
yes,
How are you?
yes.
How are you doing?
I'm okay, thank you.
And can you
Um,
introduce yourself and your plans and everything?
okay. My name's Pezo Senia. I'm here in Zambia, is in
Zambia.
Africa.
Really? That's the
Yes,
first time we are having somebody from Zambia. Seriously. I'm very happy to see you. Are we
thank
famous
you.
is Vertex famous in Zambia? We are famous. Yeah.
Yeah.
Continue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm just taking F8 for December. Question today so far, the statistics are quite scary. How is it that we haven't gotten to a 50% pass rate, you know? It's that
It is a
scary.
professional examination.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
So, like you said, answering questions, audit, it's very easy to answer from a layman without using the technical terms that the examiner might be looking for, you know. So it's the issue of paying particular attention to how we answer both the knowledge-based questions and the ones from the scenario. So it means we need to demonstrate that we understand by, using the right technical terms and not look like someone who just the text.
Just a normal person, normal guy, yeah.
Yes. So
So
it's quite interesting. I'm happy that you've given us a heads up in the beginning, so I know how to plan my study and also make use of the questions online under the study hub quite early so that we gain the confidence and just know how the exam is structured.
okay. So
Yeah.
so you feel that you are feeling better, bit confident, or not very nervous? How are you
I'm feeling,
feeling?
yeah, not the stats are making me nervous, but at least just gives
Oh,
me
the
a level of
statistics.
confidence. Yes. It's just giving me a level of confidence in terms of the guide that you are giving, how the areas to focus on and how the exam is structured, so that we can just get
Yeah.
ahead of it. Yeah.
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 Actually, this is, I say it's a time pressured exam, and within 3 hours, there's a lot that you need to write. But again, with the passage of time, it will all become comprehensible and manageable. So don't worry about that. So yeah,
Okay.
okay, that was great. Lovely speaking to you, and lovely having somebody from Zambia, honestly. And I'll looking forward to meeting you in the live sessions.
No problem. Looking forward to meeting you.
Okay, take care, Pezo. Now we have Terence. Can I speak to Terence, please?
Hello.
Yes. Hello.
Okay. My name is Terence Makwaza. From Zimbabwe.
From Harare.
Gweru.
Hmm?
From Zimbabwe, Gweru City.
Okay, right.
Yes. So, I'm currently working as an account clerk for Zimbabwe Red Cross Society, and I'm planning to write Chekc Zimbabwean variant and F8 in December.
Okay. Zimbabwe variant text and F8. Okay. In
Yeah.
December.
Yes.
And are you taking text from Vertex as well or somewhere else?
Chekc I'm taking it from this site in Zimbabwe.
Okay, right. And how did you come across Vertex?
Through social media,
Social
Facebook.
media. That
Yes.
means the social media marketing team is doing a very good job, in promoting us.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. So they're making us famous. How did you find the session today?
Actually, it was very exciting. Actually, before this session, I wasn't sure if I haven't yet decided to write in December, but after this session, I think I'm now 100% confident that I will attempt to write in
That's a
December.
victory. That's a win. Wow.
Of course, like now I have a clear picture of what am I supposed to do, what I'm supposed to focus on. So definitely I will write F8 in December.
You know what? That's the first step towards passing the exam. I'm telling you. The day you
Okay.
make your mind up that yes, I'll be appearing in December. That's exactly the first step towards passing. So congratulations. I'm serious.
Oh, thank you very much.
Yeah. Yeah. So okay. Um, so you're happy in a nutshell, isn't it?
Very, very happy.
No, that's brilliant. And I'll be seeing you in the live sessions, and I'll be expecting this enthusiasm and energy in your questions as well. Okay?
Okay.
Right. Take care, Terence. Now I'll speak with, yeah, bye-bye. Now I'll speak with the last two people left. Mr. Z.
Yeah, hi, my name is Zahra.
Zahra.
Yeah, I'm from Oman.
From?
Oman, Sultanate of Oman.
Oman.
Yeah,
Muscat.
Muscat, right.
All right. Okay. Assalamu alaikum, Zahra. How are you?
Walaikum salam. Alhamdulillah, good.
Yes, Zahra, can you
So,
introduce yourself and your plans and your experience the way I asked you?
I'm a recent graduate holding a bachelor degree in audit and finance.
Yeah.
And this F8 will be my first time taking an actual exam in ACCA because I got an exemption for
Yeah.
8 syllabus. Yeah. So it's a bit overwhelming, but inshallah, we will go through it, yani, hopefully.
So, can you say again, please, what are you appearing? What exams are you taking in
Just an F8.
just F8? And
Yeah.
this will be your first ever experience with Vertex with us?
Yes.
How did you come across Vertex? Again, social media? Somebody
Yeah,
recommend?
through social media.
Unbelievable performance by the marketing team. Seriously, makes me. Okay, so was it Facebook or LinkedIn? Where did you come across?
Actually, through YouTube, I
YouTube.
searched
Okay.
about like an online courses that provides ACCA,
Mm-hmm.
and I saw the advertisement for the classes.
Yeah. And how was your experience then, today's session?
It's a very good session because it gives me like an overview about the syllabus and how to start and from where to start and how to like access the ACCA website and get um,
Okay,
the
so many
exams
of
and
your
yeah.
questions and queries were already answered in this.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, okay. And all right, okay, that was lovely talking to you, Sarah. And
Thank you, thank you.
I will be expecting, I'll be hoping to see you in the live sessions. And yeah,
Inshallah.
inshallah.
Thank you.
Okay, now we have the last person in the class. Who is it? Shanine Clark. Shanine Clark, yeah, SC. Is Shanine Clark there? SC. I don't think so. All right, if that's the case, I will uh, I will I will begin wrapping up the session, but before wrapping the session up, in the chat box, I have sent my LinkedIn profile name, Shahrukh Yusuf ACCA. So if you guys want to connect with me on LinkedIn, there's my profile, and this is my email. I'm sending on the chat box, shahrukyusuf16@gmail.com. I repeat, shahrukyusuf16@gmail.com. Okay. Now you guys can connect with me on LinkedIn or on my email if you want. You'll also be and my contact will be accessible once you join in the WhatsApp group. If you have to ask any question regarding registration, so we have the Vertex coordinator here. So the coordinator will definitely deal with you guys later on once and answer your questions for registration. Okay. Till then, take care. Goodbye, everybody. It was a lovely session. Thank you for your time. I'll be expecting maximum number of attendance in the live sessions that will begin probably from next week, but we will keep everybody updated. As far as the timings and the days of live sessions are concerned, very important thing again, Fridays, it's gonna be Fridays at times 8:30/9:30. 8:30 or 9 UAE time. Okay. So there'll be either 8:30 or 9 UAE time live sessions, but we'll reconfirm it later on. Okay. Just stay tuned. Till then, take care. Goodbye and Allah Hafiz. This is your tutor, Shahrukh Yusuf, signing off. Goodbye, everybody, and take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.